St. Lucia's CMO warns of a declining birth rate and lifestyle diseases in the latest National Health Card for St. Lucia. Medical officials launch a rapid response plan to ease patient gridlock at the OKEUH. And relief for farmers with the arrival of vital banana oil spray to treat the dreaded leaf spot disease. A very warm welcome to the HTS News Force. I am Winston Springer Jr. Thanks so much for joining us. We begin with news on St. Lucia's healthcare system. You see, the Chief Medical Officer, Dr. Sharon Belmar George, revealed a concerning health card for the nation, highlighting critical challenges and sounding the alarm over worrying trends that could spell trouble for the island's future, including a declining birth rate and the prevalence of lifestyle diseases.
St. Lucia's population is shrinking, according to alarming data in the 2024 General Health Summary by Chief Medical Officer Dr. Sharon Belmar George. The report shows that women of childbearing age are not having enough children to replace the current population, raising concerns about the nation's demographic future.
We continue to note reductions in the birth rate. A total of 1,619 births were recorded for 2023, representing a crude birth rate of 9.4 per 1,000 women of childbearing age. This is a 9.6% decrease from the previous year of 2022. The total fertility rate per woman of childbearing age is 1.28 compared to 1.58 in 2015. The total fertility rate for population replacement is 2.1.
Dr. Belmar George noted some other eye-opening statistics in 2024.
A total of 14 cases of leptospirosis were reported in 2024, of which 86% were male. This represents a 40% increase over last year. No cases of malaria were recorded. 3 cases of methicillin-resistant Staphylococcus aureus were recorded for 2024. St. Lucia has noted 1 new case of leprosy, which represents a 93% decrease from 2023 to 2024. A national action plan towards the elimination of leprosy was implemented during 2024.
The toll of crime and violence, a surge in motor vehicle collisions, and rising non-communicable diseases heavily burdened St. Lucia's healthcare system in 2024.
Chronic non-communicable diseases continue to be a significant source of mortality in St. Lucia, accounting for over 75% of all deaths, with cancers, cerebrovascular diseases or strokes, heart disease, and diabetes dominating as the top 4 causes of death, respectively, for the last 10 years. Despite this, males are losing more of their potential benefit to society due to assault, land transport accidents, and chronic lower respiratory disease, specifically COPD, due to smoking. Females are losing more of their potential to society due to cancers, breast and cervical in particular, and perinatal conditions.
St. Lucia's 2024 General Health Summary revealed a drastic reduction in COVID-19 cases, 1 new case of tuberculosis, and a 14% increase in gastroenteritis. Health officials also recorded 22 new HIV diagnoses, with 64% of cases among males, bringing the total number of people living with HIV in St. Lucia to 982.
We continue to note low levels of health screening, increases in obesity, low fruit and vegetable intake, and limited physical activity among our population.
Chief Medical Officer Dr. Sharon Belmar George warned that these escalating issues remain a serious concern for health officials, demanding urgent attention.
Officials at St. Lucia's main health care facility, hospital, are taking emergency measures to address severe overcrowding, with some patients waiting up to 2 days for care. The OKUH, located at the Millennium Heights Medical Complex, is battling an unprecedented surge in patient admissions, forcing some to spend hours in chairs at the Accident and Emergency Department. Hospital administrators have unveiled a 6-point action plan, including expanding bed capacity at the National Mental Wellness Center to accommodate 25 more patients and fast-tracking construction of a new wing. The complex is also recommissioning its secondary care hospital to create space for an additional dozen patients, while implementing a streamlined discharge process to free up beds more quickly. Now, officials are urging residents with non-urgent conditions to seek care at alternative facilities. That includes the Dr. Betty Wells Urban Polyclinic, the Grosley Polyclinic, the Denry Hospital, or Soufriere Hospital, where urgent care units remain available. The Owinking EU Hospital says its medical staff continues to work around the clock to maintain quality care despite the challenging conditions. Now, for more information on the wait times and overcrowding, you can get updates, the public that is, from the hospital at telephone number 4586500. That's 4586500. Agriculture Minister Alfred Prosper says farmers in St. Lucia have received vital oil to keep the leaf spot disease at bay. Prosper made the revelation during the St. Lucia Labour Party's town hall in Denry this past Tuesday.
Agriculture Minister Alfred Prosper claims this is the first time in over 15 years the shipment of oil for bananas from the U.S. has been delayed. In early January, Bextor farmers working in Crown lands alerted News Force to a shortage of crucial oil, which contributed to a rise in leaf spot disease threatening their yields. Denry South MP Alfred Prosper clarified misconceptions surrounding the oil shortage while speaking at the St. Lucia Labour Party's Town Hall Tuesday meeting in his constituency.
September 2024, and we made a request for 11 containers of the oil totaling $1,105,650. That was on September 26, 2024. And that oil is used to treat the black Sikatoka disease that you see in plantain and bananas. So when you drive along the highway and you see the banana leaves that are looking brown and yellow, it is because there is a fungus that actually attacks the leaves, and the oil is what we've been using for many years to control it. For the last 16 years, the Banana Management Unit has been importing the oil from the US, but this is the first time that such has happened.
Prosper claims that the delay in shipment was due to issues with the U.S. ports and vessels, but he claimed that as of Tuesday, January 14, 2025, farmers received oil free of charge.
It usually takes from the date that you place the order to arrival of the oil here 6 weeks. But as I said, since September, we've made the request, and the oil, unfortunately, has not arrived. And the indication was that there were problems on the ports in the US, and there were problems with the boats and so on, and that caused an unfortunate, unexpected delay in getting the oil here. As minister, I immediately called the Minister of Agriculture in St. Vincent, who had some oil in storage. And as a result, we were able to get 1,500 gallons of that oil into St. Lucia on Saturday last week. And as of yesterday, all the oil was delivered to the farmers free of charge.
The Agriculture Minister, apologizing for the shortage which affected the farmers' livelihoods, indicated that the U.S. shipment would also be distributed at no cost to the agro-entrepreneurs.
I want to say to all the farmers of St. Lucia who were affected, it is a very unfortunate situation. It is not one that any one of us would anticipate would happen. And we know and we understand how it can impact their income. We are hoping that the 12 containers will arrive in St. Lucia on Sunday. And if it does, and when it does, the entire 12 containers of oil will be given to farmers free of charge.
Farmers say farms should be sprayed every 15 to 21 days during the rainy season to manage leaf spot disease. They argue this is crucial for controlling fungal spores and preventing the disease from spreading. Gina Filippi, HDS News Force.
And Prime Minister Philip J. meantime, has appealed to members of the opposition United Workers' Party to deliver on campaign promises instead of what he says is resorting to threats and insults and also incitement. Pierre presented a list of the SLP's accomplishments to the audience at Tuesday's town hall meeting in Dennery South.
Prime Minister Philip J. Pierre called for an end to what he views as the deceptive, aggressive rhetoric and occasional vitriol used against political opponents just to secure votes. Pierre, who addressed SLP supporters in the Dennery South constituency at a town hall meeting Tuesday, offered his view on how an election can be won without underhanded tactics. He recommended that politicians keep their word if they want the support of the electorate.
And look at the calumny. Look at the lies. Look at the destruction. Look at what they put people through. Look at what they put people's children through. Look at what they put Hile through. Look at what they did. My sisters and my brothers, you can win elections without doing that. You have to win elections by showing people not what you woulda do, not what you coulda do, not what you shoulda do, but what you did. And in every aspect of life in St. Lucia, the Labour Party has delivered. And we are proud and we are confident that the people of St. Lucia will realize that, and when the time comes, they will return us to government with all 17 seats.
Vieux-Fort North MP and Health Minister Moses Jean-Baptiste pointed to a perceived contrast between the two main political parties, the UWP and the SLP.
We're not quarreling about health in the media. We know there are problems in health. And every single day we get problems. Every day we get problems. We know there are problems in health. We know there are things we have to fix. But if you compare our commitment to the people of St. Lucia and the actions, if you compare what we have done, not what we say we'll do, you know. What we have done, not woulda, coulda, if I was there I shoulda, woulda. They're all over the radio. If you hear him, we had an insurance card. Everybody should have an insurance policy for health. Utela passe seclande au parfait.
Dennery North MP Jean Edward, touting the Pierre administration's policies, echoed similar sentiments of the Prime Minister, warning constituents to avoid divisive rhetoric.
Do not take the nastiness of the UWP lightly. Stand in solidarity with your parliamentary representative. Continue to work to secure the next victory. Because even if you engage in a thorough search of this country today, there is no better group of individuals to preside over the affairs of this country than the current cabinet led by the Honorable Philip J. Pierre.
The SLP's first town hall Tuesday for 2025 was held under the theme, quote, Forward Together for Progress, ends quote. Gina Filippi, HDS News Force.
This is the HDS News Force. When we come back, Sula Jean-Fred joins us in studio with the HDS e-poll. More news after this. In the latest edition of the HDS e-poll, we are talking in-person versus online shopping here in St. Lucia. We put the question to the people. Solange, what are they saying?
Thank you, Springer. In our last e-poll, we looked at online shopping and its benefits to consumers, noting that it can divert revenue away from local shops, potentially leading to job losses and a decline in local community vibrancy. So we ask, can local in-person retail stores in St. Lucia compete and remain viable in the face of online shopping? We tallied the count in our online platform. This is what the numbers look like. 45% voted yes, 40% voted no, and 15% had no comment. We also went into the community to get the man in the street's comments.
Oh, the online, yes, it does, because they must stand over the small business sector to get online, and it's hurting every part of the small business and the poor people. The monies don't stay with us, and it's the big business that takes the money out of St. Lucia. So we are being trampled by just online business.
Look at the online shopping, man, they are bon pour un shaimon, because especially ces business là, ces speculators là, qui ka order, qui ka monter Miami, aller pour goods yo pour vendre. Ek de la yoni 2-3 maman qui travaille avec yo en dans business là. Et puis actuellement tout le monde c'est online. Mani l'idée ça ka fait yes. Because tout l'argent c'est l'autre pays qui ka joindre. China c'est côté ces goods là ka sorti, c'est yo qui en bénéfice et qui ka croiser pays. Tout the business ni pour fermer. Actuellement la combien jeune maman pas même en travail because of buy online ça là. Vous comprenez? So ma quoi ça sans beau bagay. Ça gouvernement ka ni pour faire c'est aider ces moun qui ni small business là, c'est moun qui ka vendre qui ni moun employé puis yo pour aider yo ba yon incentive en manière pour aider yo payer ces staff là. Vous comprenez? Et ben ti taxe en l'air parce que tout c'est là c'est l'autre pays qui a sorti. Même vous comprenez so aider ces small business là pour yo ça payer ces travailleurs pour yo s'employer plus moun pour tout bail marcher bien.
So raising the price on small businesses in St. Lucia to import is also making it drastically difficult for them to even lower the prices for the consumers in St. Lucia to get it cheaper. So it is very much helping foreign businesses but not local businesses make money. So yes, it is actually killing small business. Small business that are wrong help with the economy very much because most people that don't get jobs other places, they help them fund their family, help their family go to school. But when you kill the small businesses, no money in the community. The money is not flowing around. It goes abroad. It goes into offshore accounts. But when you spend it into your community, it helps with funding, like, put it like that. If you buy from a lady that's selling chicken and bake, she sends her child to school, her child will buy in another place in the community also. So the money is staying there. But when you send it abroad, it don't trickle down in our community. So y'all got to spend your money more in small business. I know it's more expensive, but support local. It will help our company and our country go further.
Definitely, I think so. The more people order things online, the less they buy in the country. And it poses a situation where more of our money is going outside and not enough is staying within the economy to circulate.
Do you think there should be an incentive for these business people?
A few years ago, the NICE program that we know included government subsidizing the salaries of certain persons, young people, such that the employer paid half the salary and the government paid half of the salary. And so it created a platform where young people could gain gainful experience that employers were asking for and that they didn't have, and that employers now could get the staff, the services of staff that they required to provide services for the community and for St. Lucians consumers at large without increasing the cost of doing business. So I think something like that needs to return to give a reprieve to those small business owners that really cannot afford to compete with online shopping.
Yes, I feel it is hurting it a little because most of those small businesses are closing, or probably they cannot sustain themselves. But at the same time, it's fair trade. Everybody have a right to shop online because of fair trade. Because all that's why today our banana industry get to the situation it is because of the Americans and fair trade.
I would really not want to pit one against the other. I believe that both of them have a very important role in the business department, in the business sector. I believe both online business and the local business are doing some benefits for St. Lucia. The online business makes it easier and better for some people, and the small business also helps to create employment and so on. So I am not going to pit one against the other. I believe both of them have a very good role to play in business in St. Lucia.
Thanks for those responses. And now for tonight's new discussion. A ray of hope in Castries as rival gangs engage in a peace treaty brokered by Strive International. So we ask, can community-driven programs combining conflict resolution with youth engagement effectively curb urban violence? Remember, you can vote by logging into our website, htsstlucia.org, and going into the voting section. Look out for our news in your community where you can voice your comments. Join us again for the results and another e-poll.
Thank you very much, Solange Alfred, with the latest edition of the HTS e-poll. This is the HTS News Force. When we come back, the Creole language and the law.
This segment of the news is brought to you by National Farmers and General Workers Cooperative Credit Union.
We begin the third segment with an interesting look at Creole language and the law. You see, the Attorney General Leslie Mondesi has made a case for Creole to become an official language of the judicial system here. Now, he said this will help citizens better relate to the legal proceedings in the OECS jurisdiction.
There are increasing efforts to help St. Lucians appreciate the Creole language. Talks are currently ongoing to introduce the mother tongue to the school curriculum. The judicial system is next to work on incorporating Creole into the system. Attorney General Leslie Mondesi, addressing the legal fraternity at the ceremony to mark the start of the Eastern Caribbean Supreme Court law year, argued that this may help citizens participate in legal matters.
Though English is the official language of the court in St. Lucia, we would like to see our court speak Creole to our people. You want St. Lucians to own the court? Then speak to us St. Lucians in our native language, Creole. I am aware that our present Chief Justice is quite versed in our Creole language and is an effective communicator in Creole, far better than I could ever be. And as I look up at the bench here today, I see a number of St. Lucians sitting on the bench. So let me say this. Vini di nou sakin lo dias premier, seti peyi Karaib la, san nou ka kriye OECS Supreme Court. I think only 6 persons on the bench may have understood what I just said there. I know Mr. Foster didn't understand what I said. But I will translate it and say, come tell us the people of St. Lucia, about this court called the Eastern Caribbean Supreme Court.
President of the Bar Association, Ramon Ravano, welcomed the calls to integrate Creole in the judicial system.
It is either we wish to take Creole seriously or not. And if we wish to take it seriously, then it has to become a normal, functional, existing part of every facet and area of our system, but it needs to be done properly.
Educators are ensuring that the next generation keeps the heritage alive and relevant. In September 2024, Education Minister Sean Edward indicated that Creole will be incorporated into the curriculum.
We are formally introducing the Creole language, Creole, into the curriculum on a phased basis at the infant level in selected schools.
The Eastern Caribbean Supreme Court is attempting to dismantle some of the geographic and financial challenges which limit access to justice. The introduction of virtual courts and remote hearings are among the initiatives rolled out to assist with this objective. The Eastern Caribbean Supreme Court marked the commencement of the new law year, its traditional ceremonial opening proceedings on January 10th under the theme Quote, Accessibility and Awareness, the ECSC Bridging the Gap through Community Engagement, end quote. Chino Filippi, HDS News Force.
Miku Secondary School students are getting a crash course in leadership at a groundbreaking program down in Miku. The 3-month mentorship series, spearheaded by the government of St. Lucia's Youth Development and Sports Ministry and also law enforcement, it seeks to mold the teenagers into peer counselors who can tackle pressing social challenges while also building self-esteem among classmates.
In response to growing community concerns about youth behavior, the Ministry of Youth Development and Sports is taking action with an innovative leadership program. The new initiative was launched at the Miku Multipurpose Center. The quote, Rise and Lead Young Leaders program, end quote, targets students from Forms 3 through 5 at Miku Secondary School. This 90-day program is aimed at developing the next generation of leaders.
Today we're rolling out a Rise and Lead Young Leaders program. It's a 3-month program for students at the Miku Secondary School, and the aim is to help develop character, confidence, and give them the skills to be young leaders in the school. So whatever knowledge that they get here today, they will bring it into the school to encourage peer-to-peer learning and to help build a nation of children who are confident and who know what they're about. You know that with everything happening in our community, we are quick to blame the children, let's say youth rather, for things that are happening. But we want to show that the children are able and capable of delivering greatness. When we equip them with the necessary skills like communication skills, conflict resolution, it helps build their character. It helps them see things in a different light. It helps them see that I am capable of producing something that is good. I am capable of helping my peers be better, and hopefully in the next year we see that children have a different attitude and different behavior.
The program focuses on students aged 13 to 17. Law enforcement is also playing a key role in the initiative. Inspector Zachary Hippolyte from the Miku Police Station is facilitating discussions on crucial topics. The program also spotlights the challenges posed by social media and technology.
We're just here to have a candid discussion on different topics like gangs, domestic violence, stealing, criminal record, age of criminal responsibility. We're the police, we're always happy to partner with other agencies in trying to enrich the minds of young youth, especially those that have been in trouble with the law or at least giving some problems in the school. And so far it's going good. There are lots of things they're not aware of. They're not aware of the age of criminal responsibility. They're not aware when it comes to self-defense and little stuff like that. And how your words, though you have freedom of expression, how your words could land you into trouble with the law. So we're always happy to come to these activities, especially when dealing with our youth. I'm hoping that it will impact them, because one thing we always seem to leave out when it comes to deviant behavior is the impact of social media and technology. And that is something that I brought up with them and have a discussion in being more responsible when it comes to social media.
Parents interested in learning more about the program can contact the Ministry of Youth Development and Sports. Inspector Hippolyte continues to recommend the moderation of social media consumption.
Our youth, we need to understand that the youth of today have so many challenges. They have so many challenges. Lots of things like sex and drugs and gangs and violence is literally shoved down the throat of today's youth compared to those of in the 60s and 70s. So it is very difficult when they see negativity all the time. They would see the negativity more than they would hear my positive words and voice. So it takes us, the police, it takes civil society, especially parents, especially parents, to educate themselves, especially when it comes to the negative impacts of social media, internet, and all those things, the usage of these things. Because I always say, the gangs nowadays are not just meeting your children on the block, they are also speaking to them through their music, through their bad lyrical content, through images, through things like TikTok and Instagram. So parents, I am asking you, please, to be vigilant with your child's social media use.
The Rise and Lead Young Leaders program will focus on building communication skills and conflict resolution among the young participants. Gina Filippi, HDS News Force.
A UK dental surgeon and his wife returning to St. Lucia this week, promoting oral hygiene and distributing supplies to students in a heartwarming community initiative.
Dr. Neil and Mrs. Sheila Stephen, devoted Sandals guests, returned to St. Lucia this week to further their mission of promoting dental hygiene. The couple visited Dame Paulette Primary School, distributing eco-friendly toothbrushes and other supplies to students.
We noticed that other Caribbean countries were getting dentists coming in to do fillings, and we believe that to actually show the children how not to get fillings would be very useful, and then they wouldn't need fillings later on, or they'd have the knowledge not to get fillings, like for sugar and fizzy drinks and fruit juice. They can have it, but they don't have to have it straight away after they've just had one. Leave a gap between them. And also brushing the teeth. I've shown them the correct way to brush the teeth, and also the trick about at night time when they've brushed the teeth, they've still got toothpaste on, just spit it out and leave the toothpaste on overnight so that it can make the teeth a bit stronger.
The dental surgeon partnered with Colgate UK to make the distribution a reality.
We've got these direct from Colgate, and they're very obviously very world friendly, with environmental friendly, and they're bamboo, typical for I would say Caribbean. Once we're over here, it doesn't matter about going on the beach. We arrange to come and see the schools if we get over here. So I hope our future's there, as I really do. We've done it for 10-15 years so in a row, so we should be all right.
The students expressed appreciation for the knowledge and resources provided to them.
I feel happy that it taught us how to clean our teeth properly. Well, I'm happy I was chosen to be here to get amazing stuff that the guy before got us.
Dr. Judy Deterville, Public Relations Manager at Sandals Grand Spa and Beach Resort, praised the couple's efforts, noting they exemplify the meaningful community connections forged when visitors come to the island's shores.
Really, it's a continuation of what we've tried to do in terms of linking with communities from a real perspective, so that you don't just see a tourist and say, oh, that's a tourist on television, but now they're intricately involved in our lives, because at the end of the day, it's not just about economics, but about people, and meaningful connections is really what this is about.
The couple visited a total of 9 schools and donated over 500 eco-friendly toothbrushes, toothpaste, and other trinkets, touting the importance of oral health and preventative care. Solange Alfred, HDS News Force.
The Cannabis Bill will soon be released for public consultation for a second time. Andre De Carries, ganja activist and interim president of the Herbal Cooperative here in St. Lucia, providing News Force with an update on the bill's progress.
Pending regulations to the Cannabis Bill have been delayed further due to public consultation. Interim president of the Herbal Cooperative, Andre De Carries, claims that lawmakers wanted to integrate guidelines before finalizing the document.
This bill was completed last year, January. So when the bill was completed, we had regulations to add into the bill, and the regulations went out to tender. So it took some time to incorporate some of the regulations into the bill. The legislative draftsperson believed that it had to be incorporated. So it took some time for the bill to be finally done, and they wanted to dot their I's and crossed their T's, and they've finally done it.
The Cannabis Bill will again be released in the public sphere for a second time, allowing for feedback and input before finalization. One of the main takeaways from citizens is for greater consideration for individuals who have risked their liberties and lives in the long march towards reform.
When Mr. Bradley Felix, and I thank him for starting off this whole process, we did have a bill 4 years ago or 3 years ago, and we did do public consultation, and we did go to 7 communities. So we're actually doing this again a second time. But basically from the public consultation the first time, the 2 big takeaways were the people who are in ganja and who have been in ganja are the ones to get the license first, because they have taken the risks and they feed their families and they've been paying bills on ganja money illegally, as it may be. So we want to transfer them from being outlaws to legitimate business people. And that's the feeling when we did the first consultation. That was one of the major takeaways. The second major takeaway was to keep it out of the hands of kids. And those are the 2 big major takeaways.
The interim president of the Herbal Cooperative explained that since marijuana is still classified as a dangerous substance, it will be promoted for medicinal and industrial use once legalized.
No raw cannabis is being exported from any country to any other country. What is being exported is derivatives, creams, lotions, oils, stuff that you could actually put a label on with a barcode and ingredients. And that would allow you now to come up to the regulations that would facilitate you to export it. But there'd be no ganja trade. There'll be no exportation of ganja anywhere in the world from any country, probably until the United States legalizes it federally.
A new CEO was recently appointed to lead the Regulatory Substances Authority (RSA) and oversee the daily operations, ensuring structure and safety in the management of regulated substances. Gina Filippi, HDS News Force.
This is the HTS News Force. When we come back, the revolution over the 5 campuses in Antigua and Barbuda.
This segment of the news was brought to you by National Farmers and General Workers Cooperative Credit Union.
Welcome back. Let's talk education in the region. The University of the West Indies. You see the University of the West Indies 5 Islands campus over in Antigua and Barbuda preparing to introduce 2 groundbreaking degree programs which it expects to revolutionize education and finance right here in the region.
It's the dawn of a new era at UWI 5 Islands. The campus is preparing to launch degree programs that will harness the power of artificial intelligence and data analytics, transforming how we work, learn, and innovate.
One of the exciting developments, which we think is going to has the potential to be a game changer in Antigua and the rest of the region, is really mainstreaming AI and data analytics.
2 degrees are at the heart of this transformation, one in educational technology and the other in financial technology.
One is a bachelor's degree in educational technology, which really would be training educators in how to optimize the use of technology in the delivery of their teaching, and also exposing children from early to the modern technology.
The financial technology degree is equally forward-thinking, catering to an industry that thrives on digital transformation.
In that same vein, we're having a degree in financial technology coming through. Again, really mainstreaming the use of technology in the financial services industry.
And it doesn't stop there. Plans are already in motion to expand these programs into criminology and healthcare, and showing professionals across sectors a tech savvy. UWI's Lifelong Learning Unit is also playing a pivotal role, offering workshops and short courses to ensure everyone can benefit.
You could be a very high-level professional. You have a PhD or a master's already, but you want to master some aspect of technology in your own work. And these courses can run from 2-day workshops, 1 week, 2 week, up to 4 weeks. And we already have a broad range of people benefiting from that.
From degrees to short courses, Professor Robinson says UB5 Islands is determined to put AI and data analytics at the center of education and industry in Antigua and Barbuda. The future is here, and it starts now. Jamie J. Roche, ABS News.
And meanwhile, the University of the West Indies Five Islands campus says students returning later this month will have improved laboratory facilities and additional administrative services.
This is the master plan for the expansion of the University of the West Indies Five Islands campus, spanning a proposed 3-phase build-out made possible with the support of an $80 million loan from the Saudi Fund for Development. While plans progress, campus officials have been keen to ready the campus and its systems for the major overhaul to come. We spoke to campus principal, Professor C. Justin Robinson.
So we have some upgraded lab facilities that are going to be available for the start of this semester beginning next week, as well as some additional admin. And also we are in the process of investing and having the installation of the university-wide enterprise management computer system, which again will be necessary to managing an expanded campus.
The principal confirms a fairly extensive university management computer system will be fully operational later this year.
In terms of the computer system, that will be fully operational by August 1. So that's a fairly extensive investment in this university-specific management system called Banner. So that's about a $5 million investment.
And lab facilities are already operational.
The physical adjustments to our existing plant are already operational. So students coming back in January 20th are going to have better lab facilities to operate with, as well as staff with some expanded admin.
The university in 2024 received a special citation from the Society of College and University Planning for its exceptional master plan in the 2024 SCOP Excellence Awards. The plan will see the relocation of the Five Islands Primary School and the construction of dormitories to accommodate overseas students and the build-out of instructional complexes to advance state-of-the-art teaching and learning. Professor Robinson foresees the educational impact of the expansion will be immense, but he also forecasts the university will be an economic engine.
Clearly, we're going to require a lot more support services, providing food and other entertainment services for these students who are here ongoing. I often think of students as the ultimate long-stay tourists. So I think there are a lot of opportunity there. Administratively, we have to provide admin services, opportunities as lecturers, full-time and adjunct.
Project coordinator CJC and Associates Inc. is leading the campus physical planning framework. Lead coordinator Colin John Jenkins has noted the project will boast 224,805 square feet or 20,855 square meters of sustainable and climate resilience university campus. For ABS News, I'm Ursula Charles Jr.
In a significant development, Israel and Hamas have reached a ceasefire agreement and a deal for the release of hostages, marking a major breakthrough in their ongoing conflict. The 3-phase deal announced by President Joe Biden is set to begin Sunday, January 19th. Now, during a press conference at the White House, President Joe Biden outlined the details of the agreement. The first phase will involve a full ceasefire and the withdrawal of Israeli forces from the populated areas in Gaza. Additionally, Hamas will release many hostages taken during the October 7th, 2023 attacks, prioritizing the wounded, elderly, and women in exchange. Hundreds of Palestinian prisoners will be released. Biden emphasized that Palestinians will be allowed to return to their homes in Gaza, many of which have been destroyed during the past year and a half of fighting. This return will be accompanied by a surge in humanitarian aid to the region. The initial phase is expected to last about 6 weeks, during which negotiators will work toward a permanent resolution to the conflict. The second phase now will see the release of any remaining hostages and the complete withdrawal of Israeli soldiers from Gaza, leading to a permanent ceasefire. The final phase will involve Hamas returning the remains of any of the hostages killed and implementing a reconstruction plan for Gaza. The announcement comes just days before the inauguration of President-elect Donald Trump, who has indicated that there would be, quote, hell to pay if Hamas did not release Israeli hostages by the time he took office. President Joe Biden acknowledged the responsibility for implementing the agreements will largely fall to the incoming administration, that's Trump's administration. The news of the ceasefire deal has sparked celebrations in both Israel and Gaza, with demonstrators expressing joy in the streets. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken, he noted that the proposed deal is based on a framework established by the Biden administration earlier this year. As the situation continues to develop, both Hamas and Israeli officials, they have shown a willingness, according to some sources, to negotiate a ceasefire in exchange for the release of the hostages. However, the ongoing conflict has resulted in significant casualties, with Palestinian health authorities reporting over 46,000 deaths since the outbreak of hostilities back in October 2023. It's now time for a look at the latest weather report.
Present weather at Uranora Airport is partly cloudy. Present weather at GFL Charles Airport is partly cloudy. Present temperature at Uranora Airport is 29 degrees Celsius or 84 degrees Fahrenheit. Wind at Uranora Airport is blowing from the east-northeast at 18 miles per hour or 30 kilometers per hour. Rainfall in the 24-hour period that ended at 8 a.m. today at Uranora Airport 6.9 millimeters. At GFL Charles Airport 6.1 millimeters. Sunset today 5:55 p.m. Sunrise tomorrow 6:31 a.m. Marine forecast foresees in a 25-mile or 40-kilometer radius from St. Lucia. Tides for Castries Harbour high at 4:37 p.m. low at 11:20 p.m. Tides for Vieux-Fort Bay high at 5:44 p.m. low at 12:47 a.m. Seas moderate to locally rough with waves and northerly swells 5 to 7 feet or 0.5 to 2.1 meters. Small craft operators and sea bathers are advised to exercise caution due to above normal seas. Weather summary. Light to moderate easterly winds are expected across the Eastern Caribbean region during the next few days. A shear line which is drifting slowly southwards will continue to cause some cloudy periods with showers over the Windward Islands, while a frontal boundary will continue to affect the northern portion of the region during the next 24 hours. Forecast for St. Lucia valid for the next 24 hours. Winds will be blowing from between the northeast and east near 14 miles per hour or 22 kilometers per hour. Weather partly cloudy to cloudy skies with a few showers.
Well, on that note, we come to the end of the HTS News Force for today. On behalf of the entire news and production teams, my name is Winston Springer Jr.